respond for what? Metabolism as well. And then so many organs connect together, it become a system, just like what our respiratory system, our digest system, they will involve so many organs, like we need to include our stomach, our liver, our small intestine, and the large intestine. So it become a digestive system. So that's why every system, then all the system conduct together to be a human. So that's why, but back to the single unit of our human should be the cell. But inside the cell, it's not that simple as you think. It's so complicated because of inside the cell, there are so many so-called the organ or organelle of the cell. So one part or one particular in the cell that's so important, which is the core of the cell, we call it the DNA. All right, so why DNA is so important? Let's see. Because of all the health, or the true health begins at the cellular level. Did anybody object with this code, or you just agreed with this code? If you agree, just type yes if you agree with this code. All right, so everybody already agreed. So definitely, because of we need to know about what particular will damage our cell, our cellular health. So definitely we will link with the free radical. So why free radical damage can cause the health issue, or even though they can impact our wellness. So because of free radicals start to attack our cell. Okay, let's see a short video to describe why free radical can damage our cell and make it dysfunction. Right, this is the cell and this is the free radical. They are everywhere. All right, even though we just lie on our bed, do nothing, but once we have respiratory function, definitely we can generate certain of free radical inside our body. Right. So free radical, they will damage not only the cell but also the DNA and make our cell dysfunction. So damaged cell, we won't have function anymore. All right. Once all the cells connect together, maybe they can damage a part of tissue, and a part of tissue can related to the so-called the our organ were affected. So the function of our organ, once they were affected, that means our organ can start to become failure. All right. So it's important because of, even though we just ignore the cell of dysfunction cell, but it will become a series. So next, let's see. So because of the cell is so important, everything starting from the cell or the cellular level, that means all the wellness of the blueprint, just imagine our wellness or inside our body, the health, just like a blueprint. Once we're going to build up a building, you need our engineer to draw a blueprint of the structure of the building. Then you can start to build up the building from the foundation, and then you start to put in more the bricks, and then it become cement add up together to become a huge or big building. But for our health, definitely the blueprint, it would be related to our DNA. So everything already coding in the DNA. So what is the DNA related to? Because of, just see why the DNA is so important. Because of DNA is the blueprint of our health, and then it start to order our cell to synthetic all kind of protein, included what enzyme we need every day to digest the food. And also all the single cell, they are ordered by the DNA. So how we going to from the DNA to become a protein? Let's see this short video.
Here is a cell, the basic unit of all living tissue. In most human cells, there is a structure called the nucleus. The nucleus contains the genome. In humans, the genome is split between 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each chromosome contains a long strand of DNA, tightly packaged around proteins called histones. Within the DNA are sections called genes. These genes contain the instructions for making proteins. When a gene is switched on, an enzyme called RNA polymerase attaches to the start of the gene. It moves along the DNA, making a strand of messenger RNA out of free bases in the nucleus. The DNA code determines the order in which the free bases are added to the messenger RNA. This process is called transcription. Before the messenger RNA can be used as a template for the production of proteins, it needs to be processed. This involves removing and adding sections of RNA. The messenger RNA then moves out of the nucleus into the cytoplasm. Protein factories in the cytoplasm, called ribosomes, bind to the messenger RNA. The ribosome reads the code in the messenger RNA to produce a chain made up of amino acids. There are 20 different types of amino acid. Transfer RNA molecules carry the amino acids to the ribosome. The messenger RNA is read 3 bases at a time. As each triplet is read, a transfer RNA delivers the corresponding amino acid. This is added to a growing chain of amino acids. Once the last amino acid has been added, the chain folds into a complex 3D shape to form the protein.
Yeah, at the end, from the DNA, it becomes a protein. So this protein maybe it is a cell, or even though an enzyme we need every day, or even though our skin, the collagen for our skin. So that's why they are all related to the DNA. So once the DNA code, they have not at anything wrong on the DNA description, or even though they would translate into a wrong protein. And if this wrong protein is not a functional protein, they may be safe. But once this non-functional protein, it keep on growing just like a cell, it will become a tumor. Or even though this tumor, it will become a cancer cell. So that's why anything starting wrong from the DNA, it will generate a huge impact on our wellness. So that's why let's see how we're going to make sure our cell, they won't go into the malfunction stage. So let's see, because of everything starting from the cell, once the cell dysfunction or malfunction, that means it will related to the tissue damage. And once all the tissue damage, the part of the tissue is so large, is uncontrollable, it will damage the organ. So once the organ failure, that's just like imagine our liver cell. Some liver cells start to malfunction or even though dysfunction, you didn't feel anything at all. But a part of the tissue of our liver, they start to have damage problem, then you will feel fatigue, even though you have a detoxification problem. And then everything start to have, it will affect our metabolism as well. So at the end, you will feel nothing at all, just like uncomfortable. But at the end, the organs start having the failure problem. Definitely, once related to the liver failure, what will happen? They can take your life. So that's why don't let the cell starting to have the malfunction or dysfunction stage. So that's why we need to protect our cell starting from the DNA. All right. So all kind of so-called the health problem or even though the wellness, illness is starting from the cell. So which is related to even though the cerebral vascular disease or even though the stroke or some heart disease, even though, but the last thing is the tumor cell or cancer cell. All right, so how are we going to protect our DNA if the DNA driven the wellness? Okay, so everybody start to question how are we going to protect because of so inner of the 4D. So we cannot just like simply only take some vitamins, some minerals. Is it enough to protect our DNA? Okay, so did anybody heard about any products selling in the market that can protect DNA? Did anybody really heard about any product that claim that they can protect the DNA? Anybody heard or anybody selling before? No. Okay, so maybe because of this is so strange, or even though it's so hard to do it, so how are we going to protect our DNA? Okay, it's so inner sides of our DNA, of our cell. So once they have so many clinical study already proven that one thing, okay, one thing under the water, which is the phycocyanin. Okay, phycocyanin, it is the extract from the spirulina. Okay, so did anybody heard about the spirulina before? Spirulina, 蓝藻. Okay, so I think so many people already been try or taking the spirulina before, and then but before that it's a raw spirulina, which is they can convert into the powder form. That's why this is the big structure according to the biology. So inside the spirulina, they have one single active ingredient is so important. We call it phycocyanin. And this phycocyanin is not easy to extract because of you need a specific technology to extract from the spirulina, right? So this technology is so important because of it only patented by the market, which is only owned by the France scientists. Okay, let's see. This is the Cygen egg, which is represent the active ingredient phycocyanin from spirulina. All right, so we call it Cygen egg. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Cygen short video, which is inside the video, you already can see where the spirulina they are growing. Okay, so the environment is so important. And another thing is what I get it from personally from the scientist of Cygen egg. So he told me that because of these kind of spirulina, they are not the normal types. So anybody, are you the lover of durian? You would like to eat durian? Anybody would like to eat durian? Durian lover? Anybody here? Are you the durian lover? Yup. Yuan Bing, what type of durian you is your favorite durian? Species of the durian? Musang King. Anybody would like to love to eat blackthorn? Kampung durian. All right, so everybody have their favorite durian types. Okay, so this so-called all kind of the durian in Malaysia, the famous durian species, they are Musang King and blackthorn. So just like the spirulina, there's all kind of spirulina species in the world. So that's why the scientists of France, they need to select certain species of the spirulina. And then once they choose the special species, why? Because of inside this kind of species of spirulina, they are full of phycocyanin. So it doesn't mean that all kind of spirulina they contain that amount of phycocyanin. So that's why they selected special species of spirulina to grow with. Okay, so once they're growing the spirulina, they can only harvest once a year. So that's why that doesn't mean that just like the durian, we only harvest the durian once a year. So they have the harvest season of the durian. So it can apply to the spirulina as well. So that's why they grow the spirulina after a year. They only can harvest that amount of spirulina to extract, to go for the next step, which is the extraction of phycocyanin. Okay, so inside this video, you will see why they're using the plastic. Okay, why they are not using the so-called the stainless steel. They make it like more scientific, is it? Wrong, because of the plastic, it can show the color, because of the color is so important, because of they need to monitor whether they extract the right ingredient or not. So the blue, they can see the color of the active ingredient is blue. So we are not putting any coloring inside the active ingredient at all. So it's naturally formed the spirulina. So all right, so every step they also remain the so-called the patented part. So that's why they won't show all steps, which is how we're going to extract the phycocyanin, but we can conclude it together how they're going to extract, because of according to our Chinese so-called TCM, we believe that every shape that can represent or they can heal, or even though they can cure the similar shape in our body as well. So what is the shape represent of the spirulina? Definitely people will link it with the DNA as well. So that's why, just like 以形补形 in our Chinese term. So that's why everybody start to imagine that, oh, this shape, they can protect also as the DNA. So what technology they are using of the Cygen scientists? Yes, they are patented water-based biorefraining. So every term there easy to understand, which is we only use the water, okay? But in a specific technology, which is already patented. Okay, so how are we going to use this patented technology to extract this phycocyanin? Because of this technology, there are no synthetic solvent, which is we didn't use any alcohol, carbon dioxide to extract, but only the water. Okay, so no chemical at all. And then during the extraction, you can make the phycocyanin high in purity, high in concentrate, and also we use only low temperature to extract. So remember, once you purchase our products, don't put under the sun in long hours. Okay, so because of once they turn any color become green or yellowish, it will it already been oxidized. So we remember, keep it in low temperature, which is 25 degrees. But during the extraction, they use lower temperature, which is below 15 only. So once they extract from the spirulina, it becomes the phycocyanin. So it's so pure and so concentrate. All right. So after that, so let's see, because of why we need to take this phycocyanin for our body. Just now I already mentioned that we need to protect our DNA. So other than protect DNA, what else they can protect? Okay, so they have 12 potent health benefit for us. All right, so start from the maintain the integrity of the DNA. We also can enhance the endogenous antioxidant capacity of cell. So what is so important? Okay, so because of these endogenous antioxidant, they are automatically or naturally produced by our cell. Okay, it's not you are taking any vitamin C, vitamin E to help your body to antioxidant purpose. So that's why this endogenous antioxidant, later on I will bring you more info about what kind of endogenous antioxidant they can enhance. Okay, so number 3. So did anybody already try? I think Robert, is it Robert here? Oh, Robert already tell us that once before Robert taking our Cygen 8. Okay, so he already done a blood test. Okay, so he already know that the inflammation index of his body is quite high. That means his body already starting have inflammation. So after 7 days, he done again for the blood test. The results show that the inflammation index already lower down. Okay, definitely it is helping by the Cygen 8. Okay, so number 4, let's see. Try to imagine that once you have any wound, you start to getting healing by yourself, but the times will take like 7 days, maybe 14 days. But during this recovery period, if it will happen by the phycocyanin, okay, the Cygen active ingredient, it will faster the recovery period, and also help you to suppress the melanin production. So melanin production is a sign of aging. So that's why you need to become look younger, look energetic. You need to use phycocyanin to suppress the production of melanin. Okay, so number 5, it should be a safeguard for our liver. Okay, to protect our liver, not only liver, but also our kidney. Okay, so as we know, they have no products which can both protect our liver and the kidney. So in the market, they have liver tonic, they have the kidney tonic, but they seldom you can find a product which can include these two protection for our kidney and liver together as a products or ingredient. So number 7 should be protect our cardiovascular. So because of accumulation, we know about every year somebody or a huge number of people, they are dying because of cardiovascular problem, which is the heart attack. Okay, so and another issue is it become a serious problem in the world, even though in Malaysia, which is the neurodegenerative issue. Okay, so this kind of issue, it will link with the so-called the Alzheimer, okay, dementia. So that's why they are the issue of neuron. Okay, so one more thing is they can decrease the risk of diabetic and also help us to support the fat loss and weight management. Last thing is it can serve as a nutritional supplement for the cancer patient during the remission period, because of during the patient who need to go through the chemotherapy, radiotherapy, we are not recommended to ask them to take, because of everything need to control by the doctor. So once the patient wish to take Cygen 8 during the chemotherapy, they need to ask the doctor permission first. All right. So other than that, during the remission, doctor can allow them to eat anything at all. Okay. So the scientific evidence, or even though the scientific study, what kind of study? There are so many scientific study already done by the scientists, which is related to the phycocyanin. But we conclude all together, which is so related to our potent health benefit, which is we starting from what we see from here. Okay, so many clinical studies still going on. Okay, so according to the scientists of Cygen 8, he already told us that the France hospital, the government hospital, they are already starting to take the Cygen 8 ingredient, which is the phycocyanin, to prescribe for the cancer patient or the other patient. So that's why we were still waiting for more scientific evidence or scientific study. They will publish in the world soon. All right. So these are the clinical study, or even though scientific study already done by the scientists before. Okay. So, but what is related to our health? What is directly impact to our health? This is so important. Not only talking about the lower down the inflammation index, but also the directly significant lower down our body weight. Okay, if you keep on every day taking one tube of Cygen 8, and then it can lower down the triglyceride as well. And one more thing, the cholesterol level. Okay, so the fat tissue, okay, which is so obvious in our body, outside our body, it can lower down as well. And then last thing is the fasting insulin. So everybody in Malaysia, do you know that 20% of Malaysian, they're having the diabetes problem? So fasting insulin is so important because of once the insulin is uncontrollable, it can generate the type 2 diabetics as well. So that's why you need to control the level of insulin during the fasting time period. So that's why significant lower down this all index in our body or even so obvious. So not only related to our inner cell, but also significantly you can test out or even do some blood tests to show that it's really significant lower down by our product Cygen. So other than that, one more thing is what happened once we taking these products ourselves, what can help? Just now I already mentioned that it can enhance the endogenous antioxidant. So what kind of endogenous antioxidant we have here? Let's see, it can enhance the level of SOD. Okay, so everybody already been heard about the superoxide, the dimutase short form is SOD, and then CAT, GSH. GSH is glutathione. So glutathione is the master of antioxidant in our body. So that's why this glutathione is not easy to enhance because of even though from the food you eat healthier food, so just like the broccoli and then some green vegetable, it only can absorb or even though it can intake so lower level of glutathione that can promote or be enhanced by this healthy food. So that's why GSH, GPX, and then GR also related. These are the activation which is activated by the phycocyanin. So these are the so-called the endogenous antioxidant. And then another thing is it can suppress what? It can inhibit the RS. So RS is the reactive oxygen species, which is so important, just like similar like the free radical. They can damage our cell, they can damage our DNA. So that's why we can inhibit this kind of particular to damage our cell or damage our DNA. So another thing is the lipid pre-oxidation. So what happens once we getting damaged by the free radical? They're starting from the lipid pre-oxidation. So this lipid pre-oxidation that happen on the membrane of our cell. So every membrane they are full of lipid. So once the lipid been oxidized, that means these free radical can go through the core of our cell to attack our DNA. So that's why they can inhibit it by the phycocyanin. So this phycocyanin, they are coming from our Cygen. All right. So they are 20 times more active than vitamin C. Not only that, they are 17 times more active than vitamin E. So vitamin C and vitamin E, everybody taking every day. But if you take only one tube of Cygen, it can act by 20 times more active than vitamin C alone. Okay, so how about the other types of spirulina? People will compare with the other types of spirulina in the market. So people will start to take the E brand, the C brand, or even though they have so many types of spirulina in the market, but they are 7,000 times more active than the normal spirulina because of we extract the specific active ingredient, so-called the phycocyanin. So we are using the specific patented technology. We call it water-based biorefining technology. Okay, so that's why this, if you compare with the normal spirulina, they only dry the spirulina and then make it in the powder form. it's not easy to absorb that much of spirulina to get certain amount of phycocyanin. Okay, other than that, one more thing is, if you go through the more deeper, you found that why the athletes, okay, athletes. So athletes would like to take our products. Why? Because of we already been proven that it can provide by the anti-doping organization, because of we already get certified by the Sport Protect. Okay, with this logo, I mean in the original Cygen 8 in France, they can use by the athlete. Okay, so athlete, because of they worry about any illegal ingredient inside the supplement or even the food, they need to protect by themselves. So that's why they can choose the product which is already certified by this organization, which is you can put in the logo, which is Sport Protect. Means that once the athlete wants to take any supplement, any food product, they need to refer to this logo. Okay, so because of this organization, they need to control every single ingredient of your product, and also they need to monitor the manufacturer companies. So they need to audit the manufacturer as well. So that's why these products also can used by the athletes. So definitely to prove that it is totally safe, okay, to take every day. All right. One more thing is you need to be careful because of it looks so abnormal, and then because of it is the class tube. You need how we're going to take. Let's see the video. We will teach you how to take the product. All right, so you can mix up with the other beverage, or even though just water to drink it, or even though you can directly drink the Cygen 8. Okay, so other than that, all right, so
conduct the same experiment in the
one more
sample to
thing,
which we did
which
add.
is because of how we're going to prove that this Cygen 8 they contain the phycocyanin ingredient, okay, which is extract from the spirulina. It's so easy. Just use the light, which is the frozen light from your phone, or even though the torchlight. Okay, so how are we going to prove that? Just like
Conduct the same experiment in the sample to which we did add the metal ion. It's quite a big difference.
okay, this normally they are the coloring, so it didn't reflect any color at all, just like the blue color.
No fluorescence. And here we do see the red fluorescence.
Okay, so if you test out with our Cygen 8, or even though the phycocyanin, you can reflect a little bit purple color, or even though the reddish color. So that's why these are the feature of phycocyanin. So that's why you can test out by yourself to prove that this is not coloring, but it's naturally produced by the phycocyanin. Okay.